It's pretty finicky, like the internet's okay, but it often disconnects.
Yeah,
And,
it drops out the sound or something.
yeah, have you noticed that happening every now and
Or
then?
your robot voice last night.
I don't actually know what it sounded like, but all the comments were saying that I sounded like a robot.
Yeah, weird. Like your voice with some sort of undertone.
Okay. But you take a seat if you want. Take a seat. I think that tonight's the race is going to go for a while. They're both determined dudes. It's, look at the moths on this. Oh man. Yeah, I wasn't really getting much direction. It was just like, oh, here you go. This is where it is. And it was like, often before we did it, and oh, but we don't even know pizzas and stuff.
What are they doing?
Oh, other people have been just making toasties and stuff. Okay, please work. Yes. All right. So that's live now. You see.
Yeah.
So we'll eventually see Phil and Sam run that way, and you know the course. It's an out and back. So you go. Yeah. So now what I do is I open up the YouTube so I can see the questions that people are asking. This one. Nice. Change the card. 29. So now what I do is I open up the YouTube so I can hear myself. And there's already 242 people in it. Because not only are they following the race, they're listening to a cool conversation as well.
Exactly.
So,
and they're addicted to it.
Yeah.
And their life's going to be like without it.
Yeah.
It was so funny when this afternoon it went off. I think it was another split between the things, and everyone's screen went blank, and the chat was like, "My screen is blank. What is happening? My life is over." I don't think Tim has listened to it. I don't know what he would. I don't know if it is what he imagined, but that's what he's going to get. All publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
And people are loving it. So. He wasn't going to do the live stream himself.
There we go. Almost there. Ready. Okay, cool. So let's talk turkey. So let's talk about Dead Cow Gully. I reckon everyone will love it. This is Holly Ranson, who ran at Dead Cow Gully Masters just this weekend, and it was an unbelievable run. So, Holly, tell the listeners about, I guess, why you chose to run at Dead Cow Gully and a summary of how the race went down.
Ooh, okay, good question, Tato. Well, I'd had the entry for a long time.
There's no video, just so you know.
Okay,
So, yes.
just audio.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I entered, I think probably nearly a year ago when I saw Tim posting that the entries were selling out, and we knew all these big name people were coming over to do the race. It sounded pretty exciting and also not far from where we live, so it made sense. But my big goal for this year was to go to Western States in the US, which is happening this coming weekend. So I didn't think I was going to make it here actually, but I missed out on a ticket to Western States, which was disappointing but also exciting because it meant that I got to come out here and race.
Right.
And how did the race pan out? Well, the first probably 24 hours was pretty exciting. There's huge numbers of people, so lots and lots of people to talk to, and met friends old and new, and found out a lot more about people. It's amazing what you get chatting about where you're running around that paddock again and again and again.
Yeah.
But I think the first 24 hours passed relatively quickly, and then it started to get exciting for me because I was coming up to my PB lap of 38. And so once that was passed, it was starting to get a bit tough. It's time to sort of hang on a bit because I knew the Australian women's record would come up at 50 or equal it at 51 and then set a new record at 52. So I was really hopeful I could get there. And I think it was lap 50 or so, my left quad kind of locked up and started getting a lot of pain in my left knee. So then, before that, everything had been going quite well. So I was a bit stressed that, oh no, thought we had this record in the bag, maybe it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We started strapping it up, and 2 times the tape fell off. I had to get it redone between laps. But lap 52, I ran with Jane McAlpin, the New Zealand girl that was also setting her record on the same lap, which was a really special opportunity. We just cruised the whole lap together and stopped for a few photo opportunities. And when we got back, everyone sort of made a bit of a guard of honour in the corral with our flags, and it was a really special moment. And my parents came up from Tassie to crew me, so it was really good. They haven't been to an ultra running event of mine before, so it was lovely to have them there to see that moment.
That was the first time they'd been to an ultra running
of any description. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Were they blown away?
I think they were. Especially with strangers coming up to them and saying, "Are you Holly's parents? You must be so proud."
Yeah.
I think it was very much an experience for them. I think it's quite out of most people's imagination, this type of event. So I think they were pretty blown away by it. I guess from that point on, I had some good support throughout the day. I had one of my workmates came out from Toowoomba and gave me some loud cheering.
And her name was Holly as well,
yes,
right?
Yeah. Very confusing. 2 Hollies, both dietitians, same team at work, but no, that was great. And then, after she left and it got dark, it started to get really hard, really painful. And, coming into the 3rd night, it's a pretty daunting thought of all those hours in the darkness. It was a lot lonelier. Found that really no one was sort of running at the same pace as me. So I was on my own during the night and, just thought I want to call it a day, go home, unpack, have a day off before I got to go back to work. And, so that was kind of how it ended. And then you're always second guessing yourself and thinking, oh, why didn't I stay in there? But there's always next time. That was officially my 3rd backyard, but we don't count the first one because that was we know what happened there. So look, it's not a good time to ask straight after a backyard ultra whether you're going to do another one, but I know some of the guys out there doing those amazing numbers of laps are quite a bit older than I am, so I'm pretty hopeful that in the future I'll come back to it and be able to do a better total again.
And Jen Russo is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think she's like 57.
I can't believe that. It's incredible. Yeah, she's just inspirational.
Yeah.
So, still got plenty of time.
Yeah. So, I mean, for people who don't know, like you hold the Australian female record for 12-hour timed ultra, 24-hour timed ultra. Where are you in the world for 12-hour?
Oh, I think about 6th.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah, not high up there, but the 12-hour mark that I hold was set in the middle of a 24-hour race. So
that's right.
I haven't actually, I want to go out and do another 12 hours specifically to focus on that at some stage. But
yeah. And where in the world are you for the 24-hour?
3rd.
How good is that?
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, pretty crazy. I'm really looking forward to racing the Worlds later this year and racing against. I'm not sure if the Japanese girl that holds the world record is going to be there, but I know Camille Herron, who's second, she'll be there. So it'll be just so exciting racing people of that caliber and seeing what's going to happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's mental side of these races and physical. Can we talk about the physical side first? How would you compare the Backyard Ultra that you ran just the other night to the 24-hour race where you broke the record in third in the world of all time?
Yeah, they're really quite different. I think in some respects the Backyard is harder because you're running at a pace that is so slow compared to your normal running pace that it really changes your gait, and it's harder on your joints, I think. And the terrain here was also really hard on the feet.
Yeah.
Whereas running on a track, it's smooth, there's no obstacles, there's nothing you've got to step over or watch out for. So it's a lot more straightforward. You just need to keep your pace up, and that's a different sort of challenge.
Sorry.
That's right. Is it going
I'm
right?
just making sure it's recording, and it is.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, this is the best conversation. You know, when you're having a really good conversation and you start worrying, hope it's being recorded, and it is. So that's all right. Sorry. So you were saying it was hurting, and
it hurts. I think the Backyard hurts really deeply in your joints, and the soles of my feet really suffered in this one. Whereas I think on the track, it takes a lot longer for the pain to kick in, but it's more like your general DOMS, like muscle soreness, just fatigue from working hard for a long time.
Okay.
So yeah, different types of pain. But yeah, I guess both are required to just push through mentally and make sure or tell your body that it's telling you to stop before you're actually ready to.
And where would you, when you're doing the 24-hour race, around what hour does it start hurting in that race, and about what hour did it start hurting in the Backyard Ultra?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the pain, it comes and goes, rather than sort of setting in at a certain time and getting worse and worse. There'll be periods, like even say 6 hours in, you have a bad spot in the 24, and then I think around 10 hours where you can start to see that halfway markers coming up. There's a bit of a struggle town there. Once you get to the halfway marker, you're like, yes, it's all downhill from here. So you have a bit of a good period. But then sort of reaching your 18, 19 hours, it really starts to drag. And I probably haven't perfected the nutrition strategy. I reckon when I do that, I'll get longer before I really start to feel the pain. But yeah, those last few hours are really a grind. And then with the Backyards, I would say it probably takes 24 hours for the pain to really start setting in, although I think the foot pain started earlier here. That terrain, I mean, I'm a trail runner, so I'm used to running on trail. I don't know what it is about here, maybe because it's so dry, the earth, like where on the sunny coast it's been raining for like a year solid, so everything's very soft and wet, but out here it seems like that's not been the case. So but a lot of people agreed that they were suffering from the same pain in their feet and thought it was down to sort of the uneven ground, the tufts of grass and that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, a lot of people told me that. And you posted a photo of your alpha flies. So tell me the story about wearing alpha flies in the Backyard Ultra.
Well, I brought them because I just wanted something. They're really comfortable and really soft. And I was glad that I did because all the other shoes I brought were really, like they were my trail racing shoes. So they're quite minimalist and really not as cushy as what was needed for this course. So I did put the alpha flies on a few times, especially when I was having a hard time with pain. They were old ones already, so I didn't destroy a brand new pair. I wouldn't do that. But so they've been used. Actually, I used them in No Time to Die in the Backyard Ultra in Adelaide. I just found that it gives you that extra boost when your legs are feeling really tired. I think there's just that extra layer of cushioning in them that helps. And scientifically, the studies have shown that they improve recovery, reduce injury rates, and that sort of thing. So for me, I suffer from stress fractures quite regularly, so that's always a bonus if I'm going long to have a little extra layer of protection there. So I didn't wear them the whole time, but they definitely suffered. They've gone in the bin now.
And did you decide to wear them like in stages of the race when you felt like you needed a positive like boost?
Yeah, absolutely. I tried not to wear them. I thought I was going to go as long as I could without putting them on, because I thought once I put them on, it would be really hard to transition back to regular shoes because they're going to feel really uncomfortable. So, but during the first night, so I kind of followed Phil's strategy of do 3 faster laps to sleep and then do a slower one to recover. So I put the Alpha Flies on for the 3 faster laps, and then I put regular shoes on for the recovery lap, and then I went back to normal shoes during the day. And then, I'm not sure if I'd ruined the soles of them, so every time I took a step, I could feel it sort of dragging and catching on the ground. So, I'm not sure whether I put them on much on the second night, and I also wasn't capable of running the faster laps much anymore.
Right.
Anyway, so.
And do you wear Alpha Flies when you do your 24-hour track races, like from beginning to end?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think they. Science will show the benefits of them. They're faster, undeniably faster, and I find them to be really comfortable. They don't wreck my feet, and I just feel good in them. I think it gives you a psychological boost as well. I'm wearing super shoes, so maybe I'm going to have a super run.
So because you had Western States on your radar, does that mean like you were like really fit? Because did you find out quite a long time ago when did you find out that you definitely weren't running Western States?
So I went to, sorry, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this because I'm not a New Zealander, but Tarawera. I went there in February, and I was aiming to get the golden ticket, which they give to the first and second place, both female and male. It actually ended up going to, I think, second and fourth place, because if you've already got a ticket or you can't or don't want to go, it sort of rolls down. But I didn't have a great race there. I finished 8th, so I was well outside of getting the golden ticket. So that was the end of that dream. But every year, if you do a qualifying race, you go back into the lottery to get a ticket for next year. So Tarawera was my qualifying race, which means I'll go back into the lottery for next year. And once the 24-hour worlds are done in France, I'll look for another golden ticket race and see if I can get in that way, because a lot of people wait 10 plus years to get into Western States via the lottery. Because
I've looked a little bit into how the lottery works, and like if you do consecutive years, then you'd get double the tickets.
Yes.
And like on their website, they've got the stats of the percentage of people who have won with one ticket and stuff. Like, can you imagine that?
It's like 0.04%. It's like winning the lottery, the actual lottery. You're never going to get in. So I'll just keep persevering with that, but then also try and find a golden ticket race as well.
Yeah, awesome. Now, with the Backyard Ultra, like, you hadn't run one for a while. I remember that No Time to Die that you ran, and Jess Smith actually finished as the last one standing. She hasn't run one since. But what type of strategy did you go in to the race with?
Not much. This race or the last one?
The one from this weekend.
Well, I asked Phil to help me share his template that he uses for his race plan, which he did. Unfortunately, I didn't really have much time to look at it, just working, and I've just started collecting data for my PhD, so that's been really full on. Between all of that and training, there wasn't a lot of preparation, and we also got dragged into this Race the Sun race last weekend.
Chase the Sun,
Yes, so things have been a bit hectic. So I tried to come up with a strategy, and also knowing that my parents were going to come and crew me and they'd never seen anything like this before, it was going to be really difficult. So I tried to be fairly specific, but of course when you get to the race, everything is different, and what you plan to eat, for some reason you don't want it, or I don't know, there's a problem with getting it or preparing it or something. So it ended up being pretty off the cuff. it was not supposed to end up that I would come back to the tent and people would say, oh, what do you want? And I would have to guide everyone to do everything. But that's kind of how it ended up.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know leading into the race, though, you had done a little bit of research and like you looked at what the records were, like Australian record and world record and things like that.
Yeah.
So you were dead keen to have a big race then? Like you were taking this like an A race, were you? Or?
That's a good question. I would say so. Yes. I knew where the milestones were, but same as how I would do it in a 24-hour. I try not to focus at the time. I just try and stay present in the moment and not worry too much about getting ahead of myself and thinking ahead too many laps, because that can be a bit of a trap. But I do think that this format is something that I've got a lot to learn about. So I never thought, I've been working with Rob Mason as my mindset coach, and he tells me I can't write myself off or give my power away to other athletes, thinking that they're better at this than I am. And definitely I had a chance. My aim was to go out there and sort of prove. Well, it's always really interested me why women are not as good at this format as men are, because physiologically we're supposed to get better the longer the race goes on. But I think statistically it's pretty clear to see that men are far superior. So I wanted to go in and really test that theory, and I didn't live up to what I was expecting there, and I'm going to look into that, whether there are physiological differences that make it hard for women.
So one of the things I'm not a girl, but I think whenever people ask me what the main difference is, I always think it's like the toilets on course makes a big difference, because like you probably would have run past 20 guys every loop who were just doing wee on the side of the course.
Yes.
Yes. But it's not really that easy for a girl.
No, but it's also interesting because I did quite a few laps with Mitchie, or Shopping Bag Man, as you know him, and he was saying to me, because in Japan everyone's so polite and respectful, he said absolutely no one would ever go to the toilet on the side of a race, like not man, woman, no one. I thought that was quite interesting. He seemed to be a bit shocked by that, but I don't think many women would. They'd have to be pretty desperate, I think, to do a bush wee, especially on that course. Like, I looked and there wasn't really many places that you could get off and have any privacy. And yes, it was talked about quite a lot, especially when all the portaloos on one side of the corral started to go out of order within about 12 hours of the race start. We were thinking, oh my goodness, this is not going to end well. Where are we going to be able to go to the toilet? So I do think that is a barrier in both this and the track ultra type of racing. But I don't know. There's got to be other things. It can't all come down to the toilet race.
So it sounds like you learned. What would you say were the biggest mistakes you made on the weekend?
I'd say I didn't try out enough different strategies. When I started thinking about quitting, I have a toolbox of mental strategies that I could have used, but I think I had really made up my mind, and so instead of trying those mental strategies, I just went straight to, right, I'm getting to 61 and then I'm stopping, and that's the end of the story. So I was disappointed that I didn't. I don't think I ever did a lap that was slower than about 51 or 52 minutes. I could have tried to have a lap where I walked nearly the whole lap and got back in 58 minutes and see if that sort of reset things. Also, one of my strategies was around talking to people, like sending voice messages to people and that sort of thing, because I do that sometimes on my long training runs, and I find that it makes the time go really quick. But because there's no reception out here, I kind of wrote that off as a strategy really early on. And there was ways around that. I could have just recorded things and sent them later or whatever. So I feel like I didn't exhaust every trick in the book before I stopped, which is a little bit disappointing.
Okay. And what about like the periods when you went into when you finished a loop? So I'm just getting up my thing because people ask questions.
Okay.
If you've got any questions for Holly, please send them through. I've lost the stream for the backyard ultra as well, so I'll just quickly see if I can get that back up. Ah. So again, okay then, what were the things that you liked most about the Backyard Ultra on the weekend?
Oh, I did like the course, at least initially. When you're seeing it with fresh eyes, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
I did see some nice birds. I saw a beautiful rainbow. The weather was really good, even though it was quite varied. We had mist and sun and rain and wind and all kinds of things, but the temperature was good. I was really scared I was going to come out here and it was going to be minus something
Too cold,
overnight,
yeah.
but it was actually quite pleasant. And the people were great. I had some really good chats with people. Just the atmosphere, the fact there were so many spectators and at also various points of the course, not just in the corral, and that people sort of stuck around as well, because I've been to events where people pack up and leave as you go on, and by the time you're getting to the end there's hardly anyone there and it's really dead and it's cold and dark and just demoralizing, but it never got like that here. There's such a good atmosphere of support and people tuning into the live stream and people coming and going and camping here. Really enjoyed that about it.
Yeah, unreal. Now we first met at the 12-hour race in Adelaide, which was about 4 years ago, I think. Maybe 3.
I think it was.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember I saw you running, and I just couldn't believe you've broken this record since, but that was that was the first time I'd ever seen like an elite performance. It blew me away, and you've heard me pump you up on the podcast and all that. I remember like I tried not to after I did once because you got a stress fracture or something, and I felt like it was my fault.
Like you've been doing to the people here. Every time you visit their tent and they drop out of the
race.
race.
It's exactly the same. I don't know where I'm leading with that, but I just think that I've had so much fun following you in your races since then. And I feel like I almost feel like I discovered you.
Yes, I feel a bit like that too. Well, it was really a breakout sort of race, and it was funny that it happened that way. The only reason I ended up doing that race, I think you know this, is because Hysterical Carnage got cancelled, and that was only a couple of weeks beforehand, and I felt like I had all this fitness and I was so angry that race was cancelled that I needed to use this energy in some way, and I found that 12-hour race and I thought, well, let's give this a crack. I've never heard of an ultra like this, but let's give it a go, and found that I was reasonably good at that format, and that's kind of spurred on my career from there. So everything has a silver lining, and I've had a really good couple of years since that time, so it's been great. I
remember when I spoke to you when you were on the podcast, you mentioned that you thought maybe you would bring in a portable bike to your marquee when you do back up. You didn't do that this weekend though?
No, I think we only used it a couple of times at Loxton, and I think we found that even though you start off with a lot of spare time between the laps, it seems to decrease somehow, and you find that all these things that you've bought to use, you just never get the chance to use, and it's a big item, and we bought so much stuff out here that looked like we were moving house. So I think that was just one thing that we decided against. But we've got some other ideas that we haven't really seen people bringing out that we're curious about. Like we've got a portable ice bath at home, which we did bring, but it never got hot enough to use. And I guess there's the logistical thing of getting enough ice and water to fill it up out here. And then compression boots, we don't own a set, but that's something I thought I would have seen people using here. There's some other thoughts that we've had that we just think as the Backyard Ultras kind of professionalise or get higher quality, you sort of expect to see some of these other modalities. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Do you use those massage guns?
Yeah, I did bring a Theragun out, and that was another thing that came out a few times in the early days, and then just as things got hectic, and you would have seen that after the first night we moved. So our tent was a fair way away from the start line, so we ended up just moving a chair up close to the finish line, and then bit by bit, some of our stuff kept creeping up because I need this and I need that, and Nick would run down and get it. We'd bring it back up to this chair, and we ended up just looking like I don't know, homeless person just camped there. So then the next day they brought the whole tent and everything up. But a lot of things just never really got used to their full potential.
But that was definitely a good move, moving it up there, because you were too far away. Like Nick showed me where you were, and I couldn't believe, like, it was about 100 metres from the...
Yeah, well, we 408 Ks would have been the total distance that I ran on the course, but 417 was on my Garmin, so that's an extra, 10 Ks nearly of walking backwards and forwards.
10 Ks?
Yeah.
My God. Yep. All right. Okay, well, let me see if anyone's asking questions. I reckon we'll get a few. Hi, Holly, do you prefer 24-hour race or backyard?
I've been asked that quite a few times. Yeah. I do prefer the 24 because I like the time efficiency of it. I'm a very busy person, and so it stresses me out coming to a race that takes a week, because it's like a quarter of my annual leave just to come here. Yeah. I like pushing myself to go fast. It's a different sort of challenge in the backyards to be more patient, and I'm not a very patient person. And with the 24, it's all over in one day. You get to go home, have a hot shower, have a sleep, be comfortable again. I really don't have, I think, the stamina of like Phil and Sam to put up with being in a cold tent and feeling dirty and gross for days on end.
Do you think with the 24-hour race, I'm only thinking out loud, do you think it's kind of like an individual thing? Whereas when you get to a final two like this, there's mind games involved, like it's kind of like a duel.
Yeah.
Is that something that maybe puts you off against backyard ultras, do you think?
I actually really like the social aspect of backyard ultras, but yeah, it is very tactical. I'm not totally against that. My first sport in life was sailing, and that's a really tactical game. So I do think it's cool to blend that in with the physical and the individual psychological aspects of running. And I think there's tactics as well in the 24, especially if you're racing against people. I haven't sort of had an experience on the track where there's been anyone sort of close to my total, so it's been quite different. But yeah, I think just the pushing yourself to go as hard as you can for that known time, I quite like that challenge. But who knows, as I get older or change goals or have different experiences, that might change. Cool.
Now, I don't know how many messages there are, but I reckon most of them are for you. Let's keep if you qualify for SAT Champs, do you think you'll go and represent Australia?
We've had that question a number of times this weekend. I reckon Phil got onto me about that in lap 3. It's too early to ask. I think I would doubt that I will get onto the team with 61 when so many Australians have run such huge numbers. But if I was invited, we'd think about it.
Yeah, cool. If you could remove an existing rule and add a new rule to Dead Cow Gully Backyard Ultra, what would it be?
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
I can't even think of. I wouldn't know what to say with that question.
Well, I don't know. I think that the outside assistance rule of not being able to tell people down at the spectating platform what you wanted. I mean, I don't know that we'd use that anyway necessarily, but yeah, I don't know.
Did they say that was a rule?
Yeah, they said that's a rule. It's in the sign down there, I think, saying you can't coach people. Don't tell them what to do. Just give them encouragement. I'm not sure if I necessarily remove that. I thought it was really tough that poor Japanese guy got disqualified for stretching in the corral, and I didn't actually know that was a rule. I just kind of follow everybody out of the corral, so I could have potentially got support for that. I thought that maybe we should have been warned. I'm sure most people probably knew that was a rule, but there's also probably a lot of first-timers here, so it might have been good to go over that before disqualifying someone.
Because it was the type of race that, like, what would you just, like a destination race, like, this is great, let's do this.
Yeah.
It means we'll get to run with Harvey Lewis and stuff
absolutely.
like that.
Yeah, but also it did attract a lot of good quality runners, whereas you would expect that sort of thing. Sometimes people just come for one lap to, be a fan and whatever, but when you see 87 people running 24 hours, you know that people who signed up actually did it because they really wanted to go far as well.
Yeah. There's so many, There's so many questions.
The new rule could be having some portaloos out on course.
Yeah.
And I know I read Tim's email, and I know why that wasn't possible, and I completely understand, but it would have been super handy.
Yeah. If I ever had a backyard ultra, I would have toilets out on course, and only for girls because
nice too.
Because guys can go just beside the course anyway. Let's see. Aussie goat in the house.
Far from that.
People complain about this humming, so I'll just hold it like this instead. Holly Ranson, one of the best female runners in Australia's history.
Oh, that's a big claim. I don't know about that.
Oh no, I think it's true. What does Holly recommend for optimal carbs, calories, protein, fat, minerals per hour?
Oh, wow. Well, I recommend whatever works for you. I'm a dietitian, as some people probably know. Maybe that's why I got that question. So the sports nutrition recommendations are like 30 to 60 grams per hour and up to 90 for really long endurance races, but we all know that that's been changing lately, and particularly in some sports like cycling, they're going up to crazy amounts like 120 plus, but that doesn't work for everyone. Like smaller people like myself, we don't need as much as that. 60 grams in something of the sort of intensity of a backyard ultra, 60 grams an hour of carbs is enough for me. And you've also got to train your stomach to sort of accept that, and with this race in particular, as opposed to, say, a track ultra, you're using more solid foods between the laps, and that's a skill to be able to digest that and run as well. So I did practice that leading up to the race, did a few simulations from home, just using 2-minute noodles and stuff. But, so 60 grams of carbs for me works well, but whatever you've worked up to. And I don't think it's necessarily more is better. Like there's a ceiling there somewhere, and you've got to, so about 60 grams of glucose is what we can digest, and then you have to add fructose on top of that if you want more carbs, so it's making it a little bit more complex. You've got to combine those different types of carbohydrates. I don't worry too much about salt. I'm not a big sweater, and I have never found that I've needed salt tablets or specific electrolyte products. There's heaps of electrolytes in food, way more than what you would get in any electrolyte product, except for like your Gastrolyte or Hydrolyte, which are your medical type of hydration tablets. I just use food for my sodium, but heavy or salty sweaters might need more than that. Protein, there's no real recommendations for protein during sport, because until these events started making their way up, it really wasn't, we didn't do long enough events that you would need to take in protein, and it's quite hard to digest, quite slow to digest, so I would just do small amounts, like I was using some custards, some yogurts. I did at one stage have a protein shake. I think I was meant to do that more often, but it just never came up again. Things got a bit complex, but I do think over a race this long you do need some protein. As to how much, I couldn't really put a figure on it. And in terms of fats, I would say that's probably not necessarily essential, because we all, even very lean people, have enough fat on us stored to use that, and it's not particularly efficient. The body needs oxygen to metabolize fat into energy, and kind of oxygen's at a premium when you're running. So I think carbs is a better fuel for running. Does that answer that question?
I think so, yeah.
Comprehensively?
Yeah. Pato putting together a 30-minute coherent interview with great questions on no sleep is amazing.
Yes, well done.
Should we eat some pizza? I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah, let's eat pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know how many grams of carbs, protein, and fat.
Let's see. I don't even know if they're back yet, but it doesn't matter. As long as I go out and film the start of the yard, that's really the main thing. Oh, you've done a good job of it, Vic.
Well, I saw Pato devour his margarita with mushroom last night, and people asking for reviews and where it was from.
How did you watch me? Did I eat that on the camera, did I?
No, I think you took a break. You said, I'm going to have some pizza.
No, I think I could hear me eating it.
Yeah, we could hear you eating it. There was a lot of chat on there around about what your review of the pizza was.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, Nick? Like, how did you like crewing at a backyard ultra?
It's hard, as in, I think from what I've seen, Phil's the best example of having it dialed in terms of having a crew on shift. Even when Gemma is or isn't here, it's very rostered and structured. But I guess that's how Phil is with everything he does. If you gave me the choice of crewing Holly for a 24-hour or a backyard ultra, I'd pick a 24-hour every time. Because a 24-hour you can do it, no sleep, get through it, and you're done. Whereas this one, even though we had Holly's folks helping us out a little bit, and my brother flew up from Sydney for a night or two, I was really only sleeping at night when she was out on the loop, but then I had to be up in time to try and have stuff ready. So it's in saying that, the social aspect of being in a backyard it's a different community basically, and it's a lot of fun. And we've been around for a little bit, and as I say, people know who we are. People know who Holly is, and then they come and talk to me as the connection to her. So look, it is pretty fun and social. But, given the choice, I'd say I'd take a 24. But
because we had fun talking in between loops and stuff like that, and I think that's one of the. But after 30 hours, so
I'm sick of talking to you, Pato. Come back. Is that a headlight coming back? Maybe down the track.
Oh yeah.
We've been to a couple of other backyards, and obviously some people, a bit of crossover with the track running as well, and so we know a fair few people. And you get to catch up with them, and then you meet some new people. And look, we've met some awesome people this weekend and the last few days, and and it's probably it's only because we know Phil and Gemma and got to know those guys a little bit that we said, right, let's try and help them out, and that's why we're back here now.
Am I imagining things, or did you run a backyard ultra?
Yeah.
I ran one very poorly.
Oh, listen. Not many people can do 15 laps of basically zero training.
The problem is, Pato, I could go and run 50 yards in a backyard ultra and still be the worst runner in our household. So yes, I did do one. I said I'd go and do one, and even before I did it, I said I'd do one and never do another one. But the aim was to tick off. So I've never run a marathon even.
Right.
The aim was to tick off a marathon, an ultra, 100 Ks, whatever. So just do it all in one hit and be done with it.
Was that Clint Eastwood?
It was Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I can't even remember it. Yeah, I remember you were there, and I thought maybe you were running. You said no.
No, we did it the other way around just to see what each other's jobs are like. And I prefer my job. I think Nick prefers his job.
Yeah. And you're living in Queensland now, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, on Sunshine Coast.
Yeah. Are you staying put or?
Probably not, knowing us.
We do quite like it there, but we're a bit remote, don't we? Where the opportunities take us. But we went up there to look for better terrain for training, basically. Because regional SA, flood has attacked, no trails in sight, and we found that. But it's I don't know. It's always challenging moving to a new place and finding a new community, but running helps with that. I've made a few friends. Yeah. See what happens.
It was a pretty epic weekend, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Can you believe it's still going?
No, absolutely not. They're going to end up running twice how far I ran.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, and I think you get a bit lost in it, or I say to Holly, we get poisoned by being involved in it. That you see Phil and Sam and Jashi and all those guys, they bang out 100 hours, and it's like, oh yeah, they did 100. 100 is, can't I swear? It's fucking insane. You go to talk to a normal person, not involved in this madness, and they don't believe you. Like, they think you're cooked. But it's, and so you get poisons, or it just becomes normalised because you're around it all the time. I say to someone, oh yeah, Holly's out for a 6-hour run today. What are you doing? Oh no, nothing. Do you want to go for coffee? Oh no, we can't. Holly's got a 50k training run today. 50k? But to me it's like, oh cool, no worries, waiting out when you get home.
And when you say a 6-hour run, they go, 6 hours?
That's the answer. So it's cool, but I think sometimes you have to step back and appreciate, or I guess acknowledge how wild it really is.
I mean, even doing 24 hours in the backyard ultra, or 15 like you did, not many people can do that.
No.
A very, very small percentage of people can do that. Doing anything more than that's just off its head.
I think, the backyard stuff, I know you asked Holly about mental and physical. I truly believe in this. It's probably, 70% mental and 30% physical. Well, at most 50-50. Like, say you're running a half marathon, which is an achievement in itself. It's probably a lot more physical related to banging out a great time, whereas banging out something that's regarded as good in the backyard ultra world definitely has a lot more of a mental strength aspect to it.
Nick, are your favourite types of races that Holly does the ones that you drive and navigate?
There's only been one of those, Pato.
No, that's not true.
What?
Race the Sun.
Oh, Race the Sun. So Race the Sun, that was something that came out of left field with very short notice and turned out to, it was only last weekend, which seems unbelievable right now.
Seems like a year ago.
But it was, we knew no one on the team, and it just turned out to be an absolutely brilliant weekend with some awesome people and just an excellent experience at an event. So that was super fun. It was hard and it was long and you got tired and whatever. The 24 park runs in 24-hour driving that was fun as well, in a different way, but it became the Race the Sun. There was always other teams around and you're with a crew of other people, whereas the park runs we were very much on our own for a lot of the night. But look, whatever it takes to get it done, really. The same as like to get Philly's shoes this afternoon when they said, like, okay, we can make this happen. All I have to do is drive the car, and that's fine. So what it took us about, from the time we left home, I think it took us 4 hours to get here. But look, it's just driving. It's not hard. So it's fun.
So, what is it called? Wild horse or wild dog? What's it?
Yeah, dog. Wild
Dog.
dog. Because it's in Warrigal, and apparently Warrigal means wild dog.
Right. Okay. So what's the goal?
Oh, I would like to run PB. I did
Which is
30.
now?
Well, that's 38.
Yeah.
I did 36 there last year, and when I did that, that was my PB at the time. And then I went and did the 38 at Sheffield a couple of months later. But yeah, because I mean, I've kind of realised now that it's all about. I've realised that the people who do go, or a lot of the people who do go really, really far in backyard ultras, they do it like while they're really, really suffering pain. And the last one I did, I stopped when I had a really sore knee, and I kind of realised that the people who go really far, they run through that stuff.
They've got a sore knee too.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are some freaks who say, "No, it was easy."
Yeah.
I was the last one standing, and no, I hadn't. I felt sore, but I could have kept going.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sore and tired, but realistically I could have kept going. If my life was on the line, I definitely could have.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see the difference, I guess, and it's obviously not meaning any disrespect to Holly's effort or whatever, but Holly's obviously a very accomplished runner and quite good, across a few disciplines. Yet these Phil and Sam are going to do who knows what, but about roughly double what she did, which is crazy.
Which, circling back to my questions about physiology, I did notice that Jen also had, similar to me, like her left knee blew up like a balloon. It was all black on the back of it.
I saw that, yeah.
And I wondered whether there's something to do with hormones or the way our muscles or tendons or ligaments are that makes us more susceptible to that sort of thing. Because then I looked at your coverage of all the guys in their tents and I did not see any swellings, I didn't see any bruising. They just look like normal, men running.
And sleeping in their beds.
Yes, and sleeping, which was great, by the way. Not creepy.
Paddow's there in a trench coat, peeking through the gap.
Well, I've been doing this for 110 hours. I think they can handle me not filming on once.
Yeah, that'll be right.
Who's just having a nap? Could have been in a chair outside. Would that have been different?
A question for you, Paddo. Do you think are people listening to us talk shit?
Yeah. Let's see how many people.
No.
Well, you don't want to know.
No, it doesn't matter.
1,032.
Right. We were brainstorming today about is there a need for some sort of transportable 3x3? I'll call it a marquee, but you could call it a backyard ultra bungalow, where it comes in on a trailer, expands out. In there is a bed, it has a shower, a solar panel on the roof to charge batteries, has a cooktop, it might even have a fan or a heater or whatever. So you just go plonk it in. If it's got a solid door, it'll help keep things quiet. People can sleep. They can be climate controlled. I reckon that's the next step.
It sounds like a caravan.
It does, but the backyard ultra scene, well, especially in Australia, is built around 3x3 marquees. And, if I said to Tim, I want to back my caravan here, it wouldn't have happened, right? So, but the next step from that, I think, if we were really wanting to see, let's say we got all the big hitter boys and girls from around the world miraculously in one place to see how far they could really push each other. I think it needs to be done very similarly to what the Belgians did at Sat Champs when they ran it in they based their start finish line in a rec centre. So they had shelter.
Stop talking. Get out there, film.
I don't think. I'm just going to have I'm going to miss one.
I was having a break.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
okay.
been. With the first one in 110 hours.
That's fair enough.
So I think where if that was the case, and a rec centre or something where you just had shelter that was out of the wind, there was hot and cold showers close by for everybody, toilet facilities. I think that's the key to getting these big numbers for the guy. And obviously Sam and Phil are doing it here in the middle of a paddock in regional Queensland, but I think it definitely wouldn't hurt anyway. It would only be productive or add stuff to it. So, anyway.
It sure wasn't an adventure of a weekend.
This weekend? Yeah. Yep. It's been cool.
Here's a question now. I don't know how. If someone came out in a few months and broke your record, do you think they would fire you up to try and break it again?
Which record?
Like the Backyard Ultra record that you just made.
Yes, but not immediately. I will be setting out to do another Backyard Ultra this year because of Worlds. That's going to be my focus. And then, but yeah, I probably think I knew I could have gone longer this weekend, so I can do it again another time.
It's funny, we had the similar sort of conversation in the car on the way home, and you were like, look, it'll be broken, and probably sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's what records are there for.
Yeah. I'm actually doing Clint Eastwood in August. I think that's a possibility. And yeah, everything's like going up so quickly from the way that Backyard Ultras started out, where you might have needed like 20 to get on the Satcham team, and now it's 120.
Also, have a look at the running community in Australia and how bonkers it is, and every event is massive, and it wouldn't take much for someone to show up out of nowhere and knock out 70 loops, you know what I mean? Much the same as you rocked up to the 24-hour track, no one knew who you were, and all of a sudden you break the record.
I do think the Backyard Ultra is something that you need to experience. I think it's hard to do a really amazing performance the first time. You just don't know what it was. Okay, what do you think about that?
If you've got there's a lot of ultra runners who've never done a Backyard Ultra who I think would be awesome at it.
Yeah.
But you're probably right. They probably do one, learn a whole heap, and then improve heaps the next time around.
Who are one male and one female runner that you would love to see do a Backyard Ultra? I haven't actually done one yet.
From Australia?
How about we'll have an Australian option and then we'll give you an international choice as well.
Australian, I guess Lucy Bartholomew.
Oh, yeah.
For a guy, maybe Nick Bamford for a guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty good. He's a pretty good all-rounder. So I reckon he'd be good at the Backyard Ultra. Also, Joe Ward, I reckon he'd be really good at it.
Yeah.
But he loves representing Australia in the... I reckon he would get fired up if he knew about the Satcham's team. I reckon he would.
Well, we can...
I'll shoot you a message and let you know. Paddo's got a man crush. I'm right. What about your international picks?
More the... I'd like to see someone like Goggins do one. Even though he's getting old, I'd like Goggins to do one. And as far as a girl goes...
What about the deal?
Oh yeah, that would be interesting. That would be awesome, actually. Are you friends with? You've met her?
No, we haven't. We've had a few message conversations, but yeah,
never met.
So not till France this year. Sure, we'll meet.
Okay, thanks. That would be an exciting trip.
Yeah, so exciting. Yes, great.
And how have you pulled up? I was
going to say. Obviously, Phil, Australia-wise, Phil's put in some mega performances.
Yeah.
What do you reckon is like the most hardcore performance you've seen from someone? Doesn't have to be someone that's done like 100 laps or whatever. Someone who's really gone into the box and proper dug deep and got out and whatever.
Oh, there was at the Satchams there were a lot of performances like that, like Dan Carmack.
Yeah.
You know Dan.
Yeah. That when I asked that question, if I had to answer that, Dan would be my answer. Like that was mega.
Yeah.
And he's a good dude too.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah.
He's the nicest guy. And there were other performances like that too, where then people just dug themselves out of holes because of the set champs. They wanted to an extra point for the team, and all those points added up.
What were you going to ask, Colin? Oh, how you pull up?
Yeah, not too bad. This left leg is quite swollen, and my knee is still, looks like a thigh, but and so the knee is still sore, and I'm limited range of movement. Like I can't go further than that or further than that yet. But honestly, I don't think it's anything serious. We were going to go to the recovery room and do the hot cold pools and the sauna and stuff before we ended up on a desperate mission for shoes.
And the cannonball run with Phil's shoes.
Yeah. I don't know, sort that out.
I noticed that Jashi, he would do a squat in the... I should ask him, but I was wondering, because my knees during backyard ultras, I'm the same, I can't bend them very far.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if doing just a squat, a deep squat before every yard from the very first. Yeah. I wonder if I'm going to try it at my next one just to see if it makes a difference.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Like I mean to do more stretching and stuff, but you just get so, I don't know, you're so tired, you don't want to do anything else, you sit down and then it's all over.
I think the trick to that would be making sure you did it from the start. Because it's all too easy for the first 10 minutes. I'm fine. I don't need to do that. And then all of a sudden, my knees are a bit stiff. I'll start doing some squats, and then it's too late.
Yeah.
So
I did think I was going to do some butt kicks and high knees and things, which I did in the 24-hour. I would do that a few steps like that every lap to use some different muscles. I did it once or twice, and I totally forgot about it. So,
I think Paddy would have experienced this. It's not this weekend really. Let's just start calling it this week.
Yeah.
Because but after the first night's fine. The second night, your capacity to remember anything. And I don't know how I don't know what Sam's level is because I haven't been around his tent or anything. But Phil's level of coherence around making decisions is amazing. Because I know even in the tent trying to. I need to make a bottle of this and do that, whatever. I think about one thing, and then 2 seconds later, it's gone. And have you experienced that, Paddy? You can't remember? You can't remember not remembering?
Sometimes after a race you think, if we just tried that kind of thing, but nothing that... I've never forgotten something that was on the plan.
Yeah, right.
And it's always... It's usually I'll remember and then just I don't need to do it.
That's funny, interesting how the lack of sleep affects your cognitive ability. Like even trying to count the cow tags on the wall there. Yeah. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, what am I up to? You start again. 1, 2. Like I must have counted those things 100 times.
I know how Phil remembers stuff because he told me.
Oh yeah.
On the loop last night.
You might not be able to give away a secret.
Oh, it's not his secret. It's a memory technique. It's a well-known one where he makes up a story about the things he needs to remember. So I was talking to him about how I had some really bad chafe, and then also I was feeling a bit tired. So he's like, right, well, you need some Red Bull, and you also need this product called Sudocrem for the chafing. So now you need to imagine that there's a giant Red Bull here, and you're rubbing this Red Bull with Sudocrem. And when you get back to the tent, you have to tell me the story about the Red Bull and the Sudocrem, and then you remember.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember the Sudocrem, but I didn't remember the Red Bull.
I was saying to Holly before, in the last 10 days between the Red Bull Race the Sun and this weekend here at Dead Cow, I think I've drunk more Red Bull in these last 10 or 12 days than I have in the last 10 or 12 years.
Yeah, I actually drank one before myself. First one in a long time.
It's not bad, is it?
Are they good for you though?
No.
What's better, Coke or Red Bull?
They're much of a muchness dependent. How much caffeine's in that actually?
I think it's...
I reckon that's got more caffeine than Coke.
Yeah, I'm sure. 80 milligrams.
Yeah, but that's only just more than 1 coffee. And how much sugar does it do? 27 grams. So a normal size can of Coke, which is, I think, bigger than this. Yeah, that's only 250 ml. A normal size can of Coke has 40 grams of sugar, but I think it's less caffeine, maybe 40 grams or something. So, yeah, that would be a better choice to keep you awake, probably, the Red Bull.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I had it.
Yeah.
I've got to stay awake till this darned race is over.
Gosh. You don't know what you're setting yourself up for. It could be another day.
I'm having fun though.
Yeah.
I think I've found a new skill.
Yes.
Live streaming.
And I'm sure everyone on the live stream would agree with this. What is essentially an event as a spectator is about as exciting as watching grass grow because it just takes so bloody long. You've made it really, really fun and interesting on the live stream that's gone on for days and days. And it progressively got more and more loose and a little bit weird. And stuff like that.
The comments are so funny.
But we're at home with it on before we came back out, and I was in the next room packing something away. I hear Holly laughing at the TV because of what's happening on the live stream.
Every time I woke up last night, I would get on it and have a look. I mean, you're not supposed to look at your phone in the night.
Yeah, well, you didn't do it for me, but I'll say thanks for bringing those shoes around before. That was a huge thing to do, especially after the weekend. Yeah, it was a busy weekend.
Yeah, it was funny.
So it would have been so easy for you to say, okay.
No, but Phil goes out of his way to help us. It was thinking we used it as a bribe to make Phil come to France instead of going to
I said that to Gemma because I quickly liaised with Gemma after I spoke with you, and so we figured it out and made sure, and I spoke to the guys at the was it Wildfire Sports or whatever the store was called. Well, the guys that look after Phil anyway. I spoke to them and said, "This is what's happening. Can we please make sure?" I know you've probably had 10 different phone calls, but they were awesome and set it aside. And I raced in there and grabbed them. It was about an hour from home, isn't it? Yeah. And the guys were on the camera like, "What's this about?" I'm like, "Oh, who's this for?" I'm like, "Oh, they're for Phil Gore. What's he doing?" He's running this race and they've broken the record and blah blah blah. And so the young lady is like, "So how far's he run?" And one of them's like, "Oh, about 400 k's." And I'm like, "Nah, it's about 700 and something at the moment." And I'm like, "Oh, do you think his legs hurt?" And I'm like, "Probably do." Anyway, just let me pay for these and get out of here. But yeah, those guys have been nothing but helpful and friendly and kind to us. So if we can try and repay that favour, we will.
Well, look, if this place was more suitable, I'd say you can stay, but I mean, it's not all that crash.
We're going to.
This is where I've been since the start of the race.
Wow.
That's nuts, isn't it?
It's the funniest thing.
We might stay for the end of this loop, and then it's a couple of hours to get home from here, and we both got to work tonight, apparently.
Well, this is I may as well talk about the race again. Let's see what's going on the chat.
Let's leave
Yeah, well, thanks heaps for coming and visiting and for the food and stuff. Great to catch up too, because we've met kind of a few times, but we've never really we've never broken bread.
No, we haven't broken pizza.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any other types of races that you haven't done yet that you want to, like a 200 mile or anything like that?
Yeah, I'd like to do something like that. Well, first I'll do a miler because I've never actually run an actual miler.
Oh yeah.
Just inside other races. But yeah, some of those 250 milers that they've got going in the States look pretty good.
Yeah.
Sedona, I think they just had one that looked pretty cool. So.
Yeah. They're huge over there. They've got like a series of these 300-mile races and stuff.
Yeah. Well, now I know I can run 400k, so I might as well go try in one go.
Yeah. That would be unreal.
Yep. Alright.
Thanks, Pam.
Did you want to take the pizza?
Well, have you had enough?
I have.
Otherwise, I'll just offer it to some other people.
Yeah, well, with the mice, you see. I'm worried that the mice will just all wake up and they'll be covered in mice. Like, you know how ants cover food?
Yeah.
I don't want to wake up and have a mouse version of that.
Alright, I'll get rid of it, mate.
Yeah, heaps of fun. So exciting to have the new record hold backyard ultra record holder on my live stream, and drive safely home.
Bye.
See ya. Check. Check. 1, 2. All right, let's change this to yard 110, and then we'll have some fun. Yeah, I thought to myself, I don't need to film the start because the camera's already set up on the course. You're going to see them run past and run back. And yeah, I'm back. Lincoln Samuelson, I'm back. I've just got to remember how to do this because I'm so tired. But I'm having a lot of fun. All right. Rock and roll. Oh, way to go. Hang on. All right. All right. Let's have a look at what's been going on downtown. No, I don't. I'm sorry, Wombat. Do I have noise? This computer really is noisy, and you know what? I'm just so happy that so many people. I guess they're not tuning in because they want to listen to me. They're tuning in because they want to watch the Dead Cow Gully. But yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful that you tune in, even with that annoying sound in the background. So thank you. Let's start from. What should we do? From the bottom or top? We'll start from the top. No, actually, we'll start from the bottom. No, I haven't slept since I got up at 6 a.m. yesterday, and haven't been asleep since. But the computer fan noise in the background is really annoying. Yeah, I know. I can't believe my work meetings are getting away of me following this amazing race. I'm back for 10 minutes. Phil will be able to cover a mile in that time. Awesome chat, Pato. Yeah. No, they're great. Like, can you believe they saw that Phil needed a pair of shoes, so they drove 2.5 hours to give Phil a pair of shoes and have the pizza with Pato. And now they're driving back home again. I mean, they are great people. Aerobic Edge, Adam Keane, who was a competitor earlier, he's hung around and he's posting live on Instagram the start of each lap. Yeah, Adam Keane, he's the real deal. Adam Keane. It was so funny. The other night on Thursday, when I was at Dead Cow Gully, I was asleep on the couch, and I heard my eyes were closed, and I heard the door open, and I opened my eyes to see who it was, and I lifted my head a little bit, and I saw this dude, and he looked at me and goes, "Pedo." And I pretended I knew who it was. I go, "Hey, how you going?" And then they walked close. I go, "Oh, Keen, man, how you going, man?" And then we had a great conversation where everything that he said, I would laugh my head off, and everything that I said, he would laugh his head off. So it was really good. William Ritossa, thank you. I'm glad you liked that interview. All right. You're acting like asking them to switch camera to the start is outrageous, but like that's what we are all here for. Yeah. But the only thing you missed is them doing eating some bloody food and sleeping. And you don't want to watch them sleep anyway. Now you're complaining that you didn't get to see them sleep. I'm confused. All right. Dom's in the house. When is your flight home, Paddo? Hope you've planned long enough. Yeah, my flight leaves on Sunday morning, so I've got long enough. Don't worry about that, Dom, mate. I tell you what, Dom, if you were here, you would be having the best time. You've got to, when you come to Australia, you've got to come and do a backyard ultra and... Hey, Rock, how you going, man? What's up? You coming in for a chat too?
No, we've just had some messages. We've had some concerns about your mental state.
Huh? What do you mean? Who?
Is Paddo losing it?
You might need.
No, I'm not. I thought you were Andy.
Oh no!
Because he got one of those.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
How your numbers doing, buddy?
Let's have a look.
Pick it up now.
We've got at the moment there's 614. We've been as high as 1300.
Wow.
I just had some dinner. I didn't film the first. It was the first loop I didn't film the start of all race. So that's the course.
Yep.
We see them run up.
Yeah.
And we see them run back.
What time is it now?
So they're on yard 110, right?
Yep. This is 110.
Yeah.
What's the night vision look like with that camera?
This.
Oh, with
That's
back cam.
It's all right.
Not bad.
Because they're wearing head torches, it's pretty covers the whole screen, so it's hard to know. Because there's only two runners, you know who's who. But when there was big fields of run, like 2 nights ago when there was 20.
Wow.
That's Jashi. Oh no. Oh, hang on. No, that's
pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
I've been having heaps of fun.
Well, mate, this is a step up from last year for sure.
It's so much better. I mean, you know what, Andy? He's keen.
Is he?
He's like, oh man, we can make this even so much better next year. He's got all these ideas to make it better. Yeah.
So, mate, it's a great. It's definitely a step up.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have anything like this last year.
And the key is, mate, you've got so much coverage, you can actually walk in with marquees.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. What I would do is I would take one of these in. And at first I would say, hey, is it all right if I put a camera in? And they would most of the time say yes. And I would just put it there, angle it where the runner was going to be, and
that's great.
Watch them do their stuff. Some of it is awesome.
So people can go back and watch this.
Yeah, it's all
great.
It's
great.
It's all in digital stone now.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Hey, well done.
Yeah, well,
mate, this has been
you haven't seen it. You haven't watched it back. You might not like it.
I've only seen little snippets, mate. Look, when I'm retired, mate, I might actually sit and watch those 110 hours.
Everyone's loving it.
Oh yeah,
like Hallie Ranson, and Nick. They're loving it. This is the
Everyone's
funniest
glued to the
thing
live
they've ever
Yeah.
been. And like, I filmed Sam Harvey before having a nap, and I was getting these comments like, "You're a creep. You shouldn't be filming him."
That's right.
Like, can you believe what's happening in this race?
Look, to have Phil and Sam, like to have that throwback from 2023, it's just, to me, it's unbelievable, but it's actually quite fitting. It's quite fitting. Like, I think it's kind of cool. It's almost like a perfect kind of
Sequel?
Yeah, it's like part 2.
Yeah.
But the difference is Sam's in way better condition than he was 2 years ago.
I don't know if you've noticed or not, and you might have noticed, Rocky. Sam's loving it. He's smiling. He's waving at the cameras on course.
Like when I was out on course, changing it to the night course, had a photographer out there with me.
Yeah.
Sam had this big smile on his face, almost like a mischievous smile, and he's loving it.
Different from 2 years ago.
He's loving the moment. Yeah, because 2 years ago there was a real medical concern, you know.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
What's going on here?
No, I guess I wasn't there for it either.
But there's no limitations here. Like if Sam just wants to go all night. Actually, it's really up to Sam. I've had a chat to some people about this. Like, we know Phil's just going to keep going around the clock, do his loops.
And I think he's excited to test himself.
He's excited, and it's kind of up to Sam, I think. In my opinion, like, if he had someone else with him who could drop out at any point, I think Sam would be very nervous right now. But he knows Phil's going to do that loop.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a nice feeling that as long as Sam fronts up, he can keep doing loop after loop after loop after loop.
So when you see these guys, Tim, line up in the starting corral and do what they're doing, like, do you sometimes think to yourself, I wish that was me?
No. God, no. No. I think everyone plays their role. Like, like you play your role.
Yeah.
You're a runner in your own right, but mate, if I was a runner, I don't think there'd be any event. Like the amount of time I put into it. Like race directing, and I'm pretty much.
You're an innovator.
Well,
hey mate, Elon Musk has taken a bit of a turn since last time we talked about him together. Remember I said I love Muskie, and you're like, yeah, I like him too. And ever since then, he's just gone downhill.
He's copped it, hasn't he?
Yeah. Poor old Muskie.
Yeah, mate. I think everyone played their part. I mean, the internationals.
Oh yeah, and you know what the thing is? They loved it. They were here to mix and mingle, and it wasn't like they came here. It wasn't an us versus them. Like 2 years ago, it was a little bit us versus them. It wasn't like that this time.
No, it wasn't. It's intense now, but as we said before, like since we started with such a big number, it set like a tone of goodwill. Yeah, and everyone's just having a ball. Some people running backyards for the first time, and mate, I think it's a good model, and
do you reckon you'll stick to something similar to this every 2 years?
Yeah. If the finances hold out, mate, I think it does. It's really cool just to throw down a big total every 2 years, just before bigs.
What the hell was that?
Is that a bat or a bird?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm hallucinating.
It's really fun, man. It's a really fun. I just can't believe it. Like, I knew it would be good, but I didn't know it was going to be this good.
And to be left with an Australian and a New Zealander beating the big Europeans, American. I mean, it's pretty cool. Japanese. Yeah. It just shows you that we've got a pretty strong backyard scene.
Oh yeah, we've got two 100 yarders now.
Got Jonathan.
And Phil.
Yeah.
And we've
so
got-
he was very, when I picked him up on course, he was so with it.
Right, yeah.
Mentally.
Yeah.
He was sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to shoot for the world record
Right.
himself.
Yeah.
But his feet were just mangled.
Yeah.
So he's got a very bright future.
And we've got other people like Tim Kaprizak and James Blanton, Ryan Crawford,
Yeah.
and others like Joel and Dan Carmack and Michael Bellman. Australia's got a strong team.
Yeah, and it's performances like this which will really fire them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Holly Ranson now as well.
Yeah. I hope she changes her mind.
Yeah.
She said she's not keen on
Yeah.
backyards. But hey, that was just after finishing. So everyone's pretty negative after you just...
Yeah, but the
Finish
thing is,
it.
she's so good at these 24-hour track races. She's like third in the world all time. So, and the thing is, Jen Russo proves like you don't have to be like a spring chicken to get high numbers.
Yeah, I mean, she's got guts, doesn't she?
That was one of the toughest things I've ever seen.
Imagine just... She was suffering out there. I remember I was seeing her that morning. Yeah, she was suffering. But, yeah. I guess what do you...
The hell? Whoa!
What's that little...
Whoa!
Is that a bat?
Don't say whoa!
Is that a bad...
Jesus Christ! I think it's a whoa!
Good sign or bad sign?
I don't know. As long as it doesn't land on my face, I'm all right.
That is a
Whoa!
funny thing. Look at it. That... I don't think that's a bird, mate. I think that's a bat.
It's because you can't hear its wings flapping.
Wow.
Whoa! Maybe if we should turn off the light, and then it will find its way out. Whoa! Should we turn off the light and?
Sure. It's like your own little bat cave.
Yeah. Yeah. When because I just had pizza with Holly and Nick, Holly's boyfriend, and I said, "Oh look, if you can stay the night if you want. It's not the Grand Hilton, but..." And they're like, "Oh no, we'll go home."
You've enjoyed this experience, mate? Must just.
I wouldn't do it every week.
I mean, must feel like you've been here for.
Once a year. Once a year, though, is okay.
Must feel like weeks, right?
Oh, the start of the race feels like a long time ago. I didn't know what day of the week it was. I thought it was Tuesday. Then I found out it was Wednesday. I know my plane doesn't leave till Sunday, so I'm not worried. But I love doing it, but I just wouldn't do it more. I don't think I would do it more than once a year. I would do it at the Sat Champs every second year, and it sounds like I'm assuming you want me to do this every year. If you wanted me to, I would do it though.
Yeah, I think definitely 2 years, Pato. I'm not sure if every year is necessary, but last year was important because that was kind of like discovering what this whole thing was about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were playing around with technology, but I don't think many live streams might have your little insights. It's just you go to the next level, like watching people sleep.
Man, I got so much good. When you someday down the track, when you watch it, you'll think this is good stuff.
Yeah.
It's some awesome conversations as well. Awesome, like people like, let's go and see what Pato's doing in the barn, and they'll just wander in. Yeah, and like Nachi came in to say goodnight, and she ended up chatting for 2 hours on the live stream.
It's all recorded.
Yeah. Yeah, so
pearls of wisdom in it, mate.
yeah, well, everyone seems to be liking it. Let's see.
I mean, what if you sifted through all this and like condensed?
Yeah,
Because you could come up with whole sort of spin-off.
Yeah. Well, when I did Dead Cow last year, I did a highlights package. Like I took out all of the waiting around for the bell to ring and all that type of stuff. It's pretty basic. I just stuck together all the interviews, and it goes to like 2.5 hours.
Yep.
So,
You interviewed Nathan yet?
oh, well, we've had a bit of a chat, and it was picked up by the microphone. Well, I asked you that really funny question, and you laughed.
No comment. I'll take it as a no comment.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I mean, Nathan, you're more than welcome to sit down for a.
You know there's pizza out there. Did you know that?
But yeah, I've just ate half of it as well as the.
Pizza. That's my cue to go. Anyway,
That's what I was waiting for.
Oh, you saw him, yeah. There, off he goes. You going as well, Tim?
I can stay, mate.
No, that's all right. No, that's all right.
I'm happy. I can grab.
I just wanted you to see Sam run on the screen.
Okay.
He's about to do it. Or you can just see, what's his name? Phil. You can see him now. And you get an idea of what it looks like. See? Off he goes.
Cool.
So,
At least you can tell they've passed. Yeah.
yeah, he went, and that's when Nathan. That's why Nathan came in, because he wanted to watch that. And when he saw Phil, he goes, "Okay,
That's
see
cool.
you."
That's cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Good legend, mate.
Oh, thanks. All right. It could have been an owl. Yes, the high pitch ring is really annoying. Hey, Kirsty Ferguson. I love it when Kirsty Ferguson enters the chat. Laz might ask Pato to live stream Biggs. Maybe. Where's Rocco gone? His and Hers Events wants me to interview Rocco. And his and her events are going to come in. We're going to do our little competition as well, aren't we? Alright. No, the cam hasn't frozen. Oh, maybe it has. Hang on. Let's go remove and add it again. Let's get down to business. Let's get down for business. Let's get down to business. My name is Pato. No, it's Pato. Hey, don't call me Pato, mate. Alright. Yeah, so that is about 1k from the finish. Is that shot? Running with sideburns. What's his name? Phil. Run Queensland. I wish I could run 6.7k as fast as Phil does after 110 times. I know. I just can't believe. It's the first time I've seen Phil run since I saw him at the Sat Champs. He was nothing like this. Like, this is off its head. Alright, let's fix up this frozen gore thing. Just a sec. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. What are you talking about, B? It's easy until it's not, when people come back from dark places. It's not over till it's over. Are you talking about Backyard Ultras? Let's get down to business. Pato's name says miss. There we go. Alright, so after this yard is finished, I'm going to go outside, film them starting 111, then I'm going to come inside, start a new stream and call it yard 111 to 112. Rose Fuller, Pato, you'd make a fun drunk. I'm loving delirious Pato. Okay. Pato, can you sing Born to Run? Oh, I forget how that song goes. Is that the song that goes don't no 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 don't no 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 I believe to say better be a deal. Want to run, there's a last way to go. Every way we go, there's a day to Mexico. Ollie Sheikah, you prediction, Pato. I think they'll go through the night. I think they'll do 151 yards, and I think Phil will win. Alright. Damn, Phil is speedy. Les might ask Pato to live stream Biggs. Can you imagine how good that would be? Mate. Hey, mate. I'd go off, mate. I'd go off, mate. There's a high-pitched ring coming through the audio. I know it's this computer. Pato back next year. No, it sounds like Tim's not interested in getting Pato back next year, so looks like my live streaming days are over. I thought just when I thought it was taking off. Pato's Palace, mate. Home to mice and bats, mate. Oh, Dom's in the house. Hey Dom, I hope you stick around, mate. Sing some sugar, mate. It's nothing, Pato. You're hallucinating, mate. No, Tim saw the bat too. Tim saw it too, mate. His and hers events. Did Tim and Rocky bring Pato a sandwich and some Coke and salt tablets? Nah. They didn't bring me anything. They just brought me They just brought a bad attitude. Nah, just joking. No, they just came to make sure I was all right. Please switch cam back to start finish. Yeah, that is the start finish. Yeah, that's the start finish. I think I should know. I've been doing this for 110 hours non-stop. GOBYU, do you think they will have time to recover before Biggs? Oh. There. That must have been Sam. Do you think they'll have time to recover before Biggs? I know it's a long way away, but that's going to damage the body. Yeah, look, I'm no expert on body recovery, but you would think it would take a little while to recover. It's a good question. I just don't know the answer. What time is Sam finishing his laps? Is he getting sleep? Been running... would be great to see Ned in a miler or backyard ultra. Someone asked, who's Tim? Someone wrote, the race director, founder of Backyard Ultra. Tim Walsh, rave director and mastermind. Let's see what else we've got here. Let's rock and roll. Pato, you are the Masters MC. Too special for every year. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right there. Sam passing by in 42 at Cam 1. Alright, well that means I can go down and, do some live streaming and have some fun and see who else wants me to piss off. Yeah. What's that thing on the road? Is it someone on the quad bike? What the... Why are they parked there like that? Josh Slowcome. Have you slept yet? Yeah, but not since 6 a.m. yesterday. I don't know if I want to go outside. Is there a... Oh, no, I don't. My dad is Jason Rantle. Beautiful singing. Thanks. That's Ride Like the Wind, my man. Coco Donor 250 was the same way. Pato regrets asking. Nah, I know what's going to happen. Tim will ask me to do it again next year. I know. I know Tim, mate. I know Tim. I'd rather hear the high-pitched feedback than this singing. Hey, Rose even laughed. Hey, Rose, I thought we were friends. Phil finished yard 110 in 40 minutes and 32 seconds. James McGuinness, record boys. Wombat, Pato, if I'm not running it next Dead Cow Gully, I'll help you with the streaming. I thought you were going to say, hey Pato, if I'm not running it the next Dead Cow Gully, I'll crew you so you can run. With all these people asking for lap times, you'd think one of them would have started a Google sheet and started making it him/herself. Steve Tripp, can you sing Born to Run? Are the lap times being posted anywhere? Look, you know what? I'll cut you a deal. Gee, it's starting to get cold in here. Oh, Oliver Sheikey. Now, yeah, I did give a prediction. 151 yards. Phil Gore, last run standing. And, yeah. Let's see what else is going downtown. Oh, Michael Sheikey. You're a legend. Alright, time to go into home base and do some live streaming. Hopefully no one tells me to jam it. Let's see how we go. Got to make sure that I'm on my best behaviour around Tim Walsh. Don't want to get into trouble. Alright, let's party. Yeah, Dom, are you still in the house, mate? You got to come down, mate. You'd be in heaven, mate. Dom, you'd be in here with me, mate, doing a live stream together, mate. We'd be having fun, mate. Alright, let's go down. See you at the Backyard Ultra. Oh yeah, here we go. This was what I called getting down to business. Yeah.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, how you going? Good. Is that Rocco? Rocky?
It is.
Oh, hey, how you going, man? I thought you were coming in to do the podcast before a live stream. Isn't that why you came in before?
No, I was just talking.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough.
And then Tim came in.
Oh. Yo,
I've been told that you've forgotten to switch over the camera.
I've been told what?
That you've forgotten to switch over the camera.
Oh,
That's probably still on the trail cam.
damn.
Let's go do that now.
Yeah. Silly me, silly me. I kind of feel like I'm accidentally pissing people off. Alright, time to get some quality content. Time to film some quality content now. Hey, it's very cold. It is. Freezing in there, in the barn. It started to. Jump in the freezer. Jump in one of the freezers, it'll be warm. I'm hallucinating so badly. Sorry? I'm hallucinating so badly. Okay. Do you need any help? Yeah, we'll see that thing over there. See, there's a cat's head in the middle.
That is a cat.
What?
That's not. It's not a cat.
It's a psychedelic cat.
Can you see what I'm talking about though? There's a cat's head and it's got bat wings.
So,
Can you see what I mean?
yeah. Like Dr. Evil.
Oh, there's yeah, so what's Phil doing now?
Sleeping.
Yeah. I just need to provide a little bit more content about the race.
He did ask a question when he came in, Phil.
Yeah, about me.
He wasn't joking. But he said, why does it feel so effortless to run? Shouldn't it feel harder?
After 110 hours.
I think he's just found a balance. I reckon just,
Yeah, you know how we talk sometimes about finding that
yeah.
is that called what, the status flow?
Yeah,
Where you're just going to do it. Remember how, what's his name? Nima said it on the Vig's thing as well. Like, you find this flow state where
Well, he's got it. He's never eaten as much as he's eaten.
yeah.
He's balancing his whole diet's just balanced,
yeah,
and he's just out on the track. He's running 40s at 110 hours,
he's running what?
40 minutes.
Right.
So he came across the line at 40.
And Gabby's giving him some extra stuff to eat and he's loving it.
Shit.
Yeah.
I've got to admit it. I've never seen him this good. It's like it's on another level. But you know the funny thing is, Sam Harvey's improved too.
Yeah, he's come back. It's going to go for a long time.
And I'm glad.
You're going to need some sleep at some point, Barry.
I was thinking I might take 45 minutes later.
Oh, that'll see you through another couple of days.
Yeah, I reckon. Tim Walsh came in before and he goes, I've been told that I should come in and see you. People have been telling me that they're worried about your mental state.
Oh.
I said, what do you mean? He's like, and then I said, I didn't really say that.
Yeah.
I was, like he was standing there. All I was thinking was, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
You can have naps. Why don't you have like an hour and a half?
Have you seen that room? How am I meant to go to sleep in there?
Sleep in my gazebo.
Oh, no, it's all right.
It's an air mattress.
I just wanted a little bit more content and I don't want to miss the race.
Yeah, we'll come wake you up.
I don't want to be woken up to be told that the race is finished.
Get Praddy here. Oh, is he still in the Nango?
I think Pratty was scared. I would ask him to
Praddy,
help.
I need you.
I thought because whenever I was walking around with this, he would see me walking and he would look away.
Because he's got his phone in his pocket. He doesn't want the radiation to break the connection or something.
Were you sitting next to me when he came up to me? He goes, "Hey, this is what you want me to do, isn't it?" And he put his phone next to it.
Oh, just mention.
Hi. All right. This is what we came to see. The tango in Nanango. Yeah. The tango in Nanango. Hi Gabby, how's it going?
Yeah, well, have you told people that it's way colder today compared to other nights? Please.
I think most people who are here other nights as well, so they know.
No, I mean like people on the live stream.
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone on the... It's way colder tonight than has been other nights.
Yeah.
Look at the stars. Look, that's...
I don't know if they can see them.
But yeah, it was a not a cloud in the sky all day. It was a tough day for running. And these legends did it, and now they're going to run through a cold night.
Yes. Freezing night.
I'm looking forward to seeing them go off on this yard. There's the first whistles. I'm going to keep my distance. I don't want to, Oh, look, everyone's walking over. I guess I'll walk over too. Oh, gee, it is cold, isn't it?
Let's stuff it up.
Keen, how you going, man?
For a bit of context, folks, there's only 2 other people in the world that have run this lap or further. These guys are about to head out on yard 111 to join only 2 other runners in the world. Right. Yeah, exactly. No. But Miranda's our guest ringer. 30 seconds. He does know these. One of 20 seconds. Oh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You got this.
Oh, you're welcome anytime. Anytime.
Tango in the mango. Oh, oh yeah. Tango in Nanango. All right, this is the real deal. Like 111 yards. Amazing. It really is, actually. It's amazing. All right.